What is up, you guys? In this episode, I go over my new LTD. What's up, guys? In today's episode, I go over my new 1996 LTD first generation. Stay tuned. What is up, you guys? It's your boy Luis Torres, and if you guys have been watching my channel for some time, then you know that I'm a huge ESP fan, and I own a few. So it was interesting to have seen a first generation 1996 LTD, which was the year ESP decided to go into production with their lower line of guitars. But what a lot of people don't know is the first 4 to 6 months of the LTD's production, they were made in the same factory that the original ESP standards were built. And so if you get one of those first generations, you're basically using an ESP M2 model. So with that, a few months ago, I had seen one on eBay, and we kind of went back and forth on price, and the deal went through. So, but at least I was able to learn enough about that first generation LTD that if I were to run into one again, I now was ready for it. So, long story short, someone was selling theirs on LTD. We went back and forth on the price, and I picked it up. So I went and instantly, once it arrived, I compared it to the closest model that I have, because most of my guitars are neck through body customs, with the exception of my 2002 ESP KH2 that I just got, and they are incredibly the same. It is just mind-blowing, from the neck contouring to the fret job that they did on the sides to the fretboard. I mean, it is literally, and I'm glad that I bought this one because it's literally an ESP M2. It just says LTD on there. So, of course, they had to do some kind of cost cutting. So what they ended up doing was a lot of them were just translucent colors. So it's an ash body with a translucent fuchsia-ish magenta in that ballpark. One thing they did is ESP at the time they were actually using Shaler bridges. So let me bring it up a little closer so you guys can see. Can you see it? Damn you with the light. And all right, there it is. You can see ESP on there. So it's a Shaler bridge. The fretboard is exactly like my KH2. Where they ended up cost cutting with this model is on, I don't even know. I don't even think this is a paint job that they did on the fret, on the headstock. I think what they ended up doing was they did a cutout, put the LTD logo on there, and instead of painting it, they literally just applied it, glued it, and then just, cut around it. But it's not paint. But everything else is intact. It actually has an ESP single coil on the bridge, on the neck. The bridge pickup, the seller actually had an Ibanez V8, which is kind of a little wonky. So I'll actually switch that out at some point. It actually has an ESP neck. The neck plate is by ESP. And then this plastic covers are kind of cheap. They definitely sound cheap. But everything else, I mean, it came with Gato tuners, and aside from those little cheap nuances, it's literally an ESP M2. So I'm going to go ahead and use this guitar through my PV6505 Plus, and that's going to be running out of my Mesa 412 with Celestion V30s, so stay tuned. So far, I absolutely love this LTD M2, and funny enough, a lot of guys have told me that if I like this guitar, I would probably be in love with LTD's 1000 series. So I don't know what the M2 line is actually called. I think the MH is the equivalent of the Horizon, right? Which is like this one minus the Jackson headstock, so it has the contoured body shape. But if you have the M2 model, you know, put a comment below. Let me know which one it is. I don't know. Is it an M? I don't know. But anyway, so I'm going to be using, again, my PV6505 Plus. It's going direct from my guitar line into the amp. And, you know, again, aside from the bridge being a little high end, I had to adjust the EQ a bit. So bear with me, but the thing sounds like a beast and feels legit, just like any of my ESP bolt-on. That's important. It feels just like any and all of my ESP bolt-ons, of which I have two, my Snakeskin and my ESP Maverick custom. So let's hear this guy. So there you have it, my new LTD. I'm super excited about it. Although at first I kind of wasn't, I'll be honest. I was just like, man, I'm going to have an LTD? Like, dude, I've been talking smack about LTD for years. I'll never have one. Never. Yeah, it's actually really good. So if you are an ESP fan and have never used an LTD, again, you can, if you get the chance, and you get to steal it away from me and find, again, a first generation LTD, you are going to absolutely love it. Aside from that, again, lots of guys with the 1000 series have just mentioned that I would completely love those, and shoot, they're a hell of a lot less than most ESPs out there, except you can definitely find some really good used ESPs for like $800. So, you know, if it's an $800 battle, ESP is going to win every time, son. That's just going to do it. You know, $1,000 brand new LTD or an $850 used ESP in mint condition. Come on, kid. There's no doubt that I would jump on the ESP bandwagon again. So, guys, hey, listen, if you haven't subscribed yet, come on, dude, come on. You guys drive me crazy. Oh, after listening and watching your channel for 3 years, I finally subscribed. I'm like, what? Like, dude, every episode I'm just like, yo, subscribe, kid. Let's do it. Let's do it. Support your boy. Listen, if you are not sending me checks every month, the least you can do is hit the subscribe button and be like, I gotta support my man, Lou. All right, guys. Hey, listen, have an absolutely great weekend. It is Friday. Enjoy your Saturday Eve. And as usual, I'll talk to you guys soon.